Bitcoin inching down just a little bit, still respecting this line that it re-established itself above. We know our levels, though, at this point, right? So our level of on the upside's just below 110,000. That's only, I would classify that as minor resistance. Why? Well, because it only goes back to May, right? So the shorter term trend lines, you have minor resistance. If it breaks through that, major resistance around 113,000. If it breaks back below, you still have support around 100,000, and then the big level here between 95 and 93,000. But again, one thing to take note of here is that the stock market is at all-time highs. Bitcoin is not. Doesn't mean it can't play catch-up, but these are little signals that I just pay attention to in terms of risk on versus risk off. If altcoins were running crazy and Bitcoin was making new all-time highs, it's more of a market where there's a lot of acceptance of risk. The fact that Bitcoin and altcoins are still stalling makes me think that the market, the stock market, will eventually turn significantly lower here because it's telling us what the psychology of the underlying bigger investors are.
Bitcoin Zella stands out with its simplicity and clarity. We've crafted an experience that anyone can dive into, whether you're a crypto expert or just a new to the crypto world. Now guess who keeps his eye on us? The author of best-selling book Rich Dad Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki. And we want to take this opportunity and thank all the people who trusted us, and we read every comment. And the best part, it's free. Subscribing now means you will get all new information for free. Don't just follow the trends, stay ahead of them. Subscribe to Bitcoin Zella today and enjoy the new edge. Gareth Soloway talks Bitcoin charts, smart predictions, and market moves. Stick around to see where he thinks BTC is heading next.
Take a look at this, guys. Remember our long-term trend line here, which again, and let's remove this for now. I'll put it back in a second. But this is your long-term trend line. Beautiful long-term trend line. If, again, this breaks and confirms, this opens the door not only to a move down to 3130, give or take, but even what I think could be a break of 3,000 on gold to the downside. Now, you guys know I am a huge long-term bull on gold. Like, I still think it's going to $5,000 an ounce, even higher down the line. Because, again, our government is never going to stop printing money, unfortunately, until they're forced to. And then basically that means until things get so bad that they're forced to. And, the Federal Reserve is going to go back to its old playbook. As soon as the economy struggles, they're going to cut rates and, again, essentially buy assets, pushing more money, or buy treasuries, pushing more money into the system. It's unfortunate, but that's just the way that these big economies have been programmed to solve problems by printing, right? And so longer term, I love gold. But the beauty of it is you can get opportunities to buy gold on the relative cheap if it comes down enough. And that's what I'm seeing here in potentially if gold can break here and we get down to like this 3,000 pierce right down here. I think that's where you start to say, okay, now is the time to start buying into gold for that longer term play again. Now, listen, it may not go there. I still hold gold myself as a longer term investment, but I would be a buyer. Anything below 3,000, I'll be looking to add to my positions. But very interesting to see the trend from December is now looking like it may be breaking on gold.
Bitcoin and altcoins are heading into a crucial week as traders watch several big events that could shake up the market. After a choppy week where Bitcoin stayed near $107,000 and most altcoins took a hit, attention now turns to the upcoming U.S. non-farm payrolls report. If job growth slows as expected, it could push the Federal Reserve closer to cutting interest rates, something that usually boosts crypto sentiment. But stronger than expected numbers could cool in optimism. Another key event is the OPEC Plus meeting, where oil output decisions can influence inflation and, by extension, interest rate expectations. Rising oil prices often mean the Fed stays hawkish longer, which tends to hurt risk assets like crypto. Falling oil, however, could open the door to more rate cuts and more upside for Bitcoin and altcoins. Traders are also eyeing the July 7 tariff deadline. More trade deals, like those already struck with China and the UK, could lift market sentiment. And don't overlook token unlocks this week, which might pressure prices temporarily. Still, due to July historically being a strong month for Bitcoin, and ETF inflows rising, optimism remains in the air.
If we look at platinum again had a huge rally over the last month or so, monster move up. it is having a correction if you're in my smart money commodity service. And just a heads up, in that service, I trade ETFs. So a lot of people are like, oh, I don't trade futures. I can't trade this. I can't trade that. I trade ETFs. So everyone can trade that. But we shorted platinum yesterday. I got the sell signal yesterday, already up like 6%, 7% on this trade. That's a beautiful one right there. And then palladium, we had a long, we took profits on that. It did pop yesterday and earlier today in the overnight, but is now coming back in. But very nice there as well. And then just we'll go back to oil. But yesterday I picked up Boyle. Boyle is a leveraged ETF, long nat gas. I already exited with commodity members this morning for 11% gain. Very, very cool, guys. So again, all these down days in a row, right into this technical level here. I still think it's going to go lower, but for me, it was just like, all right, let's play this quick trade, which is kind of what I'm doing with oil as well. I'm still in my oil trade. If we flip over to oil, we can see again, oil is creeping up off of this technical level. I'm not looking for oil to go back here. I'm just literally looking for a bounce back around here. I'll grab my money and run and then wait for the next setup there. Speaking of grabbing money, guys, again, just be aware that the Winning Trader series and all our courses are still on sale, but only for a few more days. And again, these courses, when you take the Winning Trader series, it literally, I have people that say, hey, it not just changed my financial future, but the things that are taught in there changed my mind to being more analytical and logical, and I make better decisions in life as well. And it's very cool that that happens, and it does happen. Ask my wife, which she doesn't always like because I'm not as emotional, right? You know, I'm very much like, well, this is the chart, or this is the life, and this is the way we have to do it. This is just very matter of fact. But especially in investing, it really makes you a trader that plays probabilities.
Bitcoin is sitting in an unusual calm, showing strong fundamentals while sentiment remains shaky. The balance between bullish signs and cautious traders has created a market in waiting quiet but full of potential energy. Right now, the 90-day futures taker CVE is neutral, showing neither bulls nor bears are in control. On the spot side, major exchanges like Binance are posting deep liquidity, with over $8 million in both buy and sell orders within a tight price range. It's a clear sign of balance, not indifference. What's catching attention, though, is the spike in Bitcoin outflows from exchanges up over 172%, while inflows have dropped nearly 6%. This pattern typically signals accumulation, suggesting investors are quietly building positions rather than preparing to sell. Miners are easing off too. The Puel multiple is down to around 1.00, showing miners aren't under pressure to dump their rewards, reducing one of Bitcoin's biggest sources of sell pressure. Despite these healthy signs, sentiment hasn't caught up. Weighted sentiment is still slightly negative, and funding rates continue to flip back and forth, hinting at indecision. Traders are clearly waiting for a spark. While Bitcoin's technical structure looks solid, momentum won't return until conviction builds. The next move may be sudden, but for now, the market holds its breath. If you've been with us so far, a big thank you. Don't forget to subscribe for free to Bitcoin Zella for your daily news. The link is waiting below. That's all for today's crypto news. Stick around for more updates, insights, and analysis on cryptocurrencies. Share your thoughts in the comments, like this video, and subscribe for more exciting content.